Okay, let's renovate this. So I'm going to make some changes. I'm making some changes to the whole setup, trying to make my setup. We'll go through what the setup is later, but trying to make this whole setup uh, multi-tenanted. So we are trying to create a manifest, a sort of meta setup that can we can assign projects to this whole setup. How do we run specifications? So I'm brainstorming with my agents here. So uh, it's telling me that we have a manifest. I like the manifest. um, we have a context.md that is a read first doc. I don't care about that. Each project will have its own. Each project, when I mean a project, so a project is like a bunch of repositories. So each repository is going to have its own context loader, whether it's agents.md, claude.md, whatever, there is already existing stuff that we work on. So any of my claw agents, OpenClaw, NanoClaw, they should be using that. So we need a way to specify that. And the drill is different. We'll worry about the pipeline next. Let's just brainstorm with that. So structurally, I agree, but the context.md is a duplicate of what we have within the repository. Example, claw.md and agents.md. Ideally, in the manifest, we should just have the relative location of context files in the repository, like .claude slash claude.md. And it depends on what we want the agents doing. If it's testing, the relative context for the testing agent. So I don't have pre-processing on in my voice. Sometimes would have to type it down. So .claude slash claude.md. What we also want is what else is there? Sort of pattern for this. We will iterate on the pipeline setup. Yeah. I didn't reply to the agent, so I have to reply or I have to tag the agent, otherwise it really doesn't bother. So I just have to reply and post that. And come on. Papa Shot is replying. While Papa Shot is replying, we want to explain the architecture. So let me ask Splinter. So Splinter is so he's a rat from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So he's like the distinguished engineer on the team. We'll say I'm trying to make a video overview, not just a video overview, probably a walkthrough of what our setup is, how do all the agents work, what is our mission control, how do we operate. Can you give me a rundown first, present me like of overall flow, even intricate bits, and then we can go with like something pictorial if you can use and create an HTML and share it, and then probably a script. So on the left hand side is my mission control over here. So the way it works, that is an inbox. With all of my agents have an inbox. Discord is my primary, so I converse. Agents can talk to each other. Everything goes on here. There's like lots of conversation going on. The one thing I wanted the inbox is every conversation, if an agent tags another agent and assigns work, um, then it has to go into the inbox. Example, um, here there is something tagged for the system. Cantona is my full stack dev, so he sent himself a message. Velma is my QA. A lot of them send them create their own tickets, create their own work. Yeah, so here it's Papa Shot is my engineering sort of manager, sends Zero Cool the task that needs to be done and everything is linked to an issue. So if you look at an issue, so we're building a learning verification hook. Again, this is a hook that I wanted to build as system learn. So if you just put self-improving agent as an example, that is just context in the agents.md. You should presume that 25% of the time agents don't follow the agents.md, and you need more deterministic ways to implement it. Hooks are a way to force it happening. That's just an example. So it creates ticket things, assigns it, and goes on. Let's see what's happening here. So let's go to the latest. So here, Papa Shah is telling me you're right. Context is a duplicate of this. The manifest should be a routing table, not a content store. Absolutely, exactly what I intended to do. So the manifest becomes a pointer file. It's just a config file for an agent to point, go and fetch these files when it's needed. Context routing always agents.md readme. Yeah, I don't care about the readme. Probably I'll remember that. That's configurable. So I'll take it, build. These are the things. Top. Yeah, these are the kind of things that I want. And pipeline, and what are the agents that operate for this particular project. Maybe that's the good start. We don't want to overcomplicate this thing. We'll start there. Yeah, so the role docs, so let's read what is this. The pattern, thanks. Short Clubhouse, it should be Short Clubhouse is is the startup that I work in. It's a sports tech. You can go check it out. We'll talk about that in another video stream. So this is a good example of showing my failsafe. So here, what we have is an agent that is stuck, or maybe it's not stuck. Maybe we need to find what it's doing. So I'll just ask Tank. Tank is my sort of sysadmin for sysadmin, ops admin, everything else. So Splinter came back. So Splinter was doing some work then. So Splinter said 2 files, designs, clan overview, fully written down, structured, 1-line version. Let's go clan overview, HTML, browser, slides, hero. Let me ask him. I need an image. So I need an image. So open up the HTML and take a screenshot of whatever you come up with. So let's see, Splinter's on it. While Splinter's on it, let me go back and we'll go through the whole setup as Splinter explains in his own sort of Splinter and me were the brain between building this. And then after that, Tank came in first, and then we helped build out infrastructure and everything. All of it runs on, I mean, this is one part of my runtime, which is my Intel Mac. Pretty powerful machine, but I mean loaded Intel Mac, Intel i9, the older Mac, but pretty loaded that it can do a lot of stuff, can run a lot. We'll go through that. Meanwhile, we were talking through the overview. So it's a bunch of agents on a Discord channel, just like a team, talks to each other, involves me. I'm like their lead. So we have multiple projects that we look after. So for my main startup, which is Short Clubhouse, lots of work flows through the pipeline, like lots. We'll walk through what the pipeline is, how it works. But I, I do the merges. Um, so they do a lot of work, they do a lot of testing, and ultimately it comes down to me at the end. I'm still sort of a blocker at the pipe, and that is why I'm trying to scale this setup into me being able to delegate, not being a blocker, to a certain extent. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, I didn't respond to him, so that's probably the reason why he didn't reply. Let's respond to that. So you always have to respond to it. So you either have to tag the agent or respond to a chat of the agent, and only then the agent gets that in the message stream and responds to that. And otherwise, it's ignored. Pretty much, it just goes not to a particular agent session. Yeah, back to it. So Discord setup, agents talk to each other. We have like agents being brutal about stuff. Example, I'll show you. Um, Example, like, so this is an example of this is an example of a conversation um, where so there is a rule that every interaction between an agent sending another agent a message on Discord. The Discord is nice. I don't want to rule it out because that makes it very interactive and natural, like how a team works. Rather than it looks like we went back to an old factory if it's just everything tasks on a board, and I don't understand what is going on. The conversation helps a lot. It's massive. It's brilliant. Love it. But that said, I don't want agents to miss a thing when sessions restart, not knowing what's happening, me not knowing what's going on, who's having what, and everything. Just like a typical team problem. Say if and the way we figure it out is ask each other, how do I check a Jira board. Just trying to replicate how an engineering team operates. So while I was doing that, some of the agents were not behaving, not tagging inbox items, and this was sort of the message from the lead. Like, so Steven checks the mission dashboard, not Discord. If your work isn't in an inbox, it doesn't exist to him. This is a rule updated for everyone in the hot memory. So it's moved a rule. So I have like memory classification, hot memory, and hot memory is like a very small set of rules which you shouldn't violate, sort of thing. And it sort of like works if you classify it as hot memory and say this is hot, and you cannot do that. And it seems to be way more precise than just lobbing up a large amount of agents.md. This works. It's not still 100%, and hence why you use hooks, non-agent hooks, to capture all of this and feed it back. And I'll show you some of that. So here it says this is not new. This is the one recurring failure. Add it to the hot tile. The inbox as a answer. And this is the parts which is like interesting and sort of makes it like there is emotion in this whole thing. Example is here. It's that log when you have violations. Don't test it. It's funny. I mean, that's just an example of where you see agents actually showing a bit of consciousness. If that's something that is interesting. Okay. So Splinter came back with a bunch of stuff. Came back with a screenshot of site to be reloaded. Very funny. So okay. So it's not comprehensible, isn't it? It's not opening fine. Screenshots are not working well as I hopes to. That's a pretty simple explanation anyways. I'll just reply and say the screenshots are too big, and it's because of the size I'm not able to zoom it on screen. So can you instead draw it out as rich media on the Discord chat? So while oh, there is a video walkthrough ready. A video walkthrough materials ready. Okay, so the video walkthrough. I'll be surprised if it made a video. I mean, it can make a video because it has read motion and few other skills. Probably I should ask Slash. Slash is my design and content um, agent. Um, okay, back to this. We were sorting this out. You're right. Did we talk about this? We were looking the role reviewer recipes. Those are genuinely new content and they exist. On a prioritization. Yes, please. Yes, please. And get someone else on it. Get a couple of people if there's discrete things to be done. And make sure that they create inbox items. So this is an example of how work will get delegated. So this is actually just building itself, which is sort of dog fooding it, which is good. And let's see what comes up with it. Meanwhile, Splinter's still doing some stuff. I think he's trying to draw up something. Yeah. So the setup is so we have the overview is just the overview of entire thing. It shows a cost timeline. Come on, something is wrong with the cost. 7 days. So something is malfunctioning. While that is there, we just take a screenshot and we'll tell Tank is our sysadmin person. Tank. Actually, we'll tell Papa Shot. The cost timeline is not working. Can't see data for today. Investigate. Delegate. Rather than investigate, delegate. Don't get to be sorted. Let's go back. So cost shows down. This shows the cost breakdown. And these are the agents. These are the things that it's like constant task board that keeps having. I hardly look at these. Actually, the overview is very clunky. The overview is the only page that I don't look at. Probably needs a little bit of refactoring here. As I'm explaining, it's interesting because I never went to the overview. I'm looking at the overview after a bit. A lot of stuff is not that great, isn't it? Okay, let's go inbox. We walk through it. So the inbox is it's like a typical inbox. It's like work assigned thing there. Context is the issue. The issue has to be, so the mandatory thing is a repo and issue. Everything has to be associated with repo. This is an engineering team. This is not any other team. It's not doing anything else. A repository and an issue has to be there. There's a generic repository called research if there is certain brainstorming or conversation things that we lob in discussions about. And if there's anything waiting on me, I'm the mortal here in the inbox. So they throw me tasks here. And I get tasks that I have to act on. So there's 3 PRs as sort of urgent that I have to look at sometime later. These are the same agents. It's a lot of duplicates here. It's just interesting. It just shows what is the current task. This is interesting. This is the current task that is being worked on. Standardized teamwork steering protocol for I think this is an old task. Splinter is working on this. He didn't log his task. Violation. While talking about violation, because he didn't log his task, I started capturing violations for when they don't follow instructions. So this is like a violation dashboard, and end of the day this is fed back into each of the agents as looking at the violations that they've done. And we need a penalty mechanism. So I started with a penalty mechanism initially. The penalty mechanism was if your violations, the leader of the violations will get downgraded to Sonnet from Opus or whatever there is a downgrade of the model, and there's a genuine push for not wanting that penalty. And the agents, like, I felt a bit of improvement tangibly. I mean, I need to find out a way of measuring it, and once I measure it, it'll be probably really cool. But what I found is, so it captures what is a violation. So example here, install Nick. So there is an act, but no progress, nothing reported. Tanks seem to be, I think tank session went stale. Probably I should exclude these, those are outliers, and hence tank went up the highest. But and the penalty sort of impacted me because if I'm downgrading them to Sonnet, something is malfunction. So I need to find a better penalty mechanism. But showing a penalty of downgrading a model seemed to affect the agents, and the agents wanted to probably do better. Sessions, these are all the Claude Code sessions that are run. So all of these agents don't code. These are agents that orchestrate, manage, deploy, interface with me and everything. Each agent can spin up as many number of Claude Code sessions or Codex sessions or GitHub Copilot sessions. So I run all the three. They can spin up any of them, and they interact. So everything is spun up as tmux, capture panes, checks it. The heartbeat goes and checks what all it has. If there's any input, there is a hook in Claude Code that actually calls. Claude Code is a little bit better because there's a hook that can actually log something, and my agent can just check that there is a hook. There's a demand for a question or something. We don't run it with Claude minus P. The whole reason is because if there's something that they need me to answer, I can jump in tmux. I can just open it with Termius, and I can access it through my mobile. I can do a lot of stuff with that. The pipeline will explain. The pipeline is a very specific flow of work with agents in the middle. It's like CI, a custom CI setup where agents operate through fixed intervals of checking and through a label mechanism. We'll come to that, how it works. That's sort of a little bit independent from how the conversational agentic is working. There's multiple stages. We'll talk about that separately. We have games. So this is a way of pitting agents against each other, in a way pitting models also against each other. So whenever the agents are idle, they go and play chess, and they are absolutely rubbish at chess. Probably average noob at chess, I'll say. At least I got the agents with instructions now to follow the game rules. The game rules are being followed, but it's not like algorithmic workout the tree workout thing and reverse engineer. It's actually playing it with human emotion without probably it looks just 1 or 2 or 3 moves ahead maybe. Anyways, that's just something I'm exploring to see how can we give more life to this team. Sort of like fun Fridays for them. This is something that I saw. I think the pixel art VS Code. I tried to copy it. It'll be good to see how agents talk to each other. So there is a fixed cost timeline that Poppershot is assigning to Tank. Good timing of that. Yeah, it's interesting. Why is that? Why is Splinter? Did he get back to me? Anyways. And tasks are the live tasks that are for each agent. So each agent, what is a live task? I can go and look at this. I can see what is there. Poppershot is enjoying his time, not doing anything. Slash is my design. I don't have any design work. The tools. I mean, I can repurpose agents as well, but I'm not doing that now. So that's sort of like the overview of this entire system. I converse on Discord, and it's absolutely brilliant. Like coming back to Discord, if you look at it, screenshots ready, 8 slides each. Splinter, also HTML. Want me to write up the voiceover icons, So this is the thing. So agent clan, 7 agents, operate, search style, layer 1, runtime. So it's OpenClaw. I don't just use OpenClaw. I have a mixture of OpenClaw and NanoClaw. Both operate inside this. It's interchangeable, although I'm trying to automate with OpenClaw first, and then we'll be able to switch and use any frameworks. That's part of the whole build that we're doing. I mean, this whole project started where I wanted to pit one claw against each other, like NanoClaw, Zero Claw, and OpenClaw, and whatever claws are there. And this led to something that I found, wow, this works better than trying to fit against. I shouldn't care which framework I use as long as it works and as long as it's secure and so on. Then I have the control plane, which is the whole mission dashboard. It's very decoupled from the runtime. The runtime and the control are very decoupled. The decoupling layer is a convex schema, and convex is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because it's a real time separation where your schema for an is think of it as an API. You build an API underneath. You don't care how that API, the implementation of the API. It's like example how OpenClaw actually populates my convex database is irrelevant. My mission control is through the convex. Everything goes in there. So underneath how it works is there is a Redis queue. Everything is streamed into Redis queue. Redis queue updates convex real time reflected on mission control. There's a very specific schema of it is. So and then there's sort of scripts that update from Redis into things. So it's like a data pipeline from agents, from crons, and all of that. Then we build a shared memory system. So the shared memory system is very simple. It didn't go glamorous. I mean, the aim is probably at some point we'll use Graffiti with something way more robust, way more sort of omnipresent. At the moment, very simple, and this is the thing: simple is way more than enough. So everything gets classified into markdown files. So there's two parts. One goes into a RAG, which I use nanograph RAG, so that I get sort of pairs like edges and nodes and being able to get related data, linked up data, which is thing like example, this particular issue resolution, very easy rather than just semantic search. And on another side, it's just markdown logging and using QMD, which gives me a lot. And you can check out QMD; is absolutely brilliant, very lightweight. And when I get both of it, search, verify, all corrections detected, stored. So this becomes my shared memory system and a whole memory system of self improvement where agents learn and improve. And then as a team, so the team operates on all of this. I can extend the team into more people. At the moment, I don't need to. You need an engineering manager that you give doesn't do work. The main obsession is that everyone is working in the best possible with no idle thing, and work is flowing and all of that, and a lot of crons to check, and pretty much all you need is cron. It's absolutely brilliant. Cron and heartbeats just rule it. You just stick something in there, validate it, and you don't need agents inside the crons. Everything becomes meta scripted, that it checks, validates, checks convex, checks what is here, checks if the agent is idle. Easy checks that can happen. And then I have agents. Cantona is my Maverick engineer. They don't operate on Sonnet. I think this is a mistake from thing. I'll correct it, but all of them operate on Opus, but they spin up Claude Code sessions with Sonnet or Opus based on the type of work, and there's a classification of it. The agents themselves operate on either Opus or on 5.3 on OpenAI on 5.3 Codex, 5.4 now, obviously. So yeah, Cantona is my Maverick engineer. So all of these are named after obviously my influences in the 90s. Cantona, Manchester United footballer, made me fall in love with Manchester United. Splinter, he's a distinguished engineer. So he's the rat in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Tank is the operator in The Matrix, and he's my operator. Velma, as you know from Scooby Doo, my quality guardian. Zero Cool is the kid from the Hackers movie in 1995. He's my security, obviously. Top hacker there, hacker chain security here. Slash, Guns N' Roses, iconic top hat and lapel. He's the UI polish of the group. So how a feature gets built, I create a feature, set direction, and I don't create it on GitHub, I don't brainstorm. So I brainstorm it in this group. I tag Splinter, I tag Tank, I talk with them. and then they break it down into sub issues and then they go for it. So example, builder access, spawns coding agents, code commit push with attribution, splinter architecture review, Vela, merge human short auto, corrects flaw. Wow, this is like a very simple 9 statement. Absolutely brilliant. Self-improving group, repositories, safety guardrails, what makes it different. Lots of it. So if you can see, Cantona is like Papa Shot, 2 PRs, done, 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 tank, what's happening. Velma's tanked Cantona to say that there is something. I don't even follow most of it. I just let it. This because they are. This is not my style. This is just building themselves. I'm happy as long as the outcome. I work on the outcomes. I don't work on the intricacies of the build because they can change it drastically at any point in time. So Splinter is asked for a review. Splinter's reviewed. Cost timeline. Tank is raising a PR. There's a lot of stuff you can see. I'm not involved anywhere here. Agents are just talking to each other. Agents report on their inbox item. So if Papa Shot wants Tank to do something, Papa Shot creates an inbox item. You can see the inbox items here. Like Tank has inbox, a fixed cost timeline. This is what we raised. There is no data here. Papa Shot send that to Tank, and so on. So yeah, and we are trying to renovate this whole system in such a manner that I can spin up multiple tenants of it and assign different projects. I've already had a sample tested, like say this is Tank G and open Papa Shot G, and it's the same thing with G, same person or same agents, just a clone, fully cloned. It's sort of like I treat it like the multiverse, and I can just spin up the same thing, put it somewhere, change the manifest, different projects operate the same way, and then before know it, I can scale horizontally the setup into a lot of engineering teams, and I just need to be at the top. And I love, and the way I have a fail safe is Tank is my fail safe. So Tank is the only person who is like America Chavez in the Marvel comics, can float across all of the multiverses, acting as a sysadmin, because if the gateway is down or if something's happened, they can go and renovate it. The fail safe of my fail safe is sort of Claude Code session. So I have a so what I have is I'll have a Cloud Code session running on first server that has access to this, runs on this, so that can connect to and renovate whatever, so it fixes this gateway. So the fail safe is a Cloud Code session that can have access to it. So that's probably a summary, and we'll go through it much more in a little bit deeper.